One of the things that helped me was learning to reframe the sensations that I had. So I would get, I would get nervous. So my heart rate would go up, start to feel, change the body temperature, tunnel vision a little bit, all the classic signs of fear and anxiety. But it's when I can't remember where I read it first, and it was talking about how the sensations of fear and in anxiety and the sensations of excitement and anticipation are fundamentally the same. And it's like, oh, so if I think about it and go, well, how do I feel if I'm really excited and anticipating something? Like, the example I use a lot of times is like, you're coming downstairs this Christmas morning and you're a kid and you've got all these packages and you don't know what's in any of them, and your heart's racing and you're all excited, and you feel your breath has changed, everything has changed. And it's like, well, that's kind of the same feeling that you have when you're, feeling like you're getting ready to go on stage. Now, the difference is, one, you're framing positively and you're thinking about what you're going to possibly get. And the other one, you're framing it negatively and you're afraid of what you're going to potentially lose. So it's like, oh, well, if every time I have that feeling, if I reframe that as, this is excitement, this is anticipation, this is my body preparing me not like to be in fear, but it's preparing me to actually perform at my higher level. So if the limbic system, if the limbic system is kicking in, well, this is just preparing me with the adrenaline to be able to perform at a much higher level than if I was, in my default mode network and just kind of kick back and chilling out. So it was that kind of reframing that allowed me to take the situation and then go, okay, well, I'm in control of this now. And to me, that's been like a big, that's an eye opener for me, and one that I like to share with people as much as possible. But like the reframing concept, do you have any kind of particular way that you help people to look at, like, let's say someone with the pre-anticipatory anxiety? How would you help somebody to reframe their situation so that they're not falling into that trap?
That example you just gave is phenomenal. That's a great way to look at it. That would be an excellent example of a reframe right there. This is my body preparing me to get to play. That's a great way to look at that. So I would use that one, if you don't mind me stealing that from you. And that's brilliant. And also the basic part of it is the reframe is excellent, but the reframe could be acknowledge, process. It's the reframe would be trust the process. This is a natural process. This anxiety is a natural process. It's not a bad or evil one. This is a natural process that is instilled in human beings because of the way we're brought up to survive, to find food and to eat. And it's just my limbic system working the way it's supposed to try to protect me from something it thinks is going to attack me. And it's just preparing me to get ready. How can I take this energy and use it towards the performance? So if we're too excited and we're too into it and, wow, this is great, then it'll affect our performance and it'll diminish it some. So it's not up here or down here, but it's in the middle, right? Same in martial arts. If you're so excited, when you're in a match, you might not. Now, my expertise isn't up to your standard or level in martial arts, but I would assume that you might not function as well. The next thing you know, you're looking at the ceiling. So
you're looking at something.
Yeah. Floor. Yeah. So yeah. So it's not letting it get too high or too low. It's just keeping it in the middle. In what I love what you said about, I'm in control of this. Because you are. You're not powerless over anything. You are in control of that. So.
Yeah, I was reading a book recently, and I can't remember which one it was, and I can't remember the baseball player that you're talking about, but it was a story about a really high level professional baseball player played for the Dodgers, had some, had a phenomenal season. But he hit a slump and he couldn't get out of it. And the process that he used to get out of it and like have this amazing, like record-setting game, and I think it was in the World Series in the playoffs, was he said that he just realized he had to just go back to the methods and not think about the result of, I've got to get a home run or I've got to do this or I've got to do that. It's just go through the process. So he's trained that process of how his stance is, how he swings, the mechanics of his swing. And he said that, once he kind of got his mind out of, I've got to perform, to, I just need to go through the process, then that's when the performance actually enhanced. So it's like the kind of, stop trying to do it and, be Yoda, just do. But I think it's setting up, that's the key of like any great, any person who's great at anything, particularly in a physical endeavor, they have a process that they go through. They have some sort of methodology. And some of it may be ritual, some of it may be, superstition. But in a way, I think they all serve the purpose of getting you into the right mindset and creating the proper framework for you to be able to perform consistently at a high level. So, if someone will come to you and say, hey, Mark, I have all these tools, I can do this, but I can't seem to do it consistently. Do you have any suggestions on how to create a framework to create a process that will help to develop a level of consistency and comfort so that you can perform at a higher level?
Absolutely. So what you described was familiarity too. The brain likes, that's what we first started out talking about with the COVID thing. The brain loves familiarity. It loves something it can recognize and hold on to. It loves the same thing each day. It loves to know what to expect. And that reduces anxiety. It tells the part of the brain that you're going to get food today. You're not going to starve to death today, basically is what it's saying. So if you warm up the same way every day, and you warm up in the same way, or I just said that, warm up with the same thing each day in the same way, which reminds the brain about the basics. Because as a brass player playing lead trumpet, it's easy to forget about the basics because it's so easy just to turn into muscle the note out or will it out or whatever, that it's easy to get into a strenuous habit, right? So if you focus on, I'm going to remind my brain how to relax before I play. I'm going to teach it how to be calm before I play, and then I'm ready, And the mindfulness, when you're warming up and you're buzzing a low C or whatever it is you do for a warm up that's familiar to you, that relaxes you, some days your brain's going to be racing about all these other thoughts and stuff you got to do. And you're not in the here and now, you're in the there and then, and not focused on where you're at. So it's to clear that noise out and just be there with just the playing of the instrument. Whatever else is going on, if you're doing a gig, it can wait, most of the time, unless it's something critical. It can wait until after you're done. And then you set yourself up you teach your brain and body how to be relaxed. You set yourself up for more consistent performance.